So the next standard is SA 501, audit evidence, specific considerations for selected items. See, SA 500 is audit evidence. Actually, earlier this is also merged in audit evidence itself. Now they brought separately and then kept as a separate standard. See, what evidence you should obtain, when you should obtain, sufficient or not, all that discussed in 500. Now, they have brought a separate standard 501 for 3 selected items. How many items were? 3 selected items. One is segment information. One is segment information. Another one, pending litigations and claims. Litigations and claims. Simply speaking, litigations and claims. Not even pending. The word pending is also not used. Litigations and claims. Another one, valuation of
inventories.
No, not valuation. They spoke about existence and condition of inventory. What is it? Existence and condition of inventory. Many think of valuation. Whenever we say SA 501, valuation. No, valuation part they didn't spoke at all. They only spoke about existence and condition of inventory. How inventory should be valued. Accounting standard 2 is there? No.
Yes, sir.
We will verify AS2. That's enough. Why again you need a separate standard for auditing again? Okay. So we are worried about existence and condition, means physical attributes of inventory. Existence and condition of inventory, litigations and claims, segment information. There are 3 items. Okay, there are 3 items selected, sir. What I should do? You should consider specifically certain points. What are they? You should consider specifically certain points. So the name is specific considerations for selected items. What points you specifically consider and get information for selected items? Clear? First one, easy one. Segment information. What is that? You know segment reporting?
Yes, sir.
There is a standard called accounting standard 70.
A17. Yes.
How you will identify segment? There are 2 types of primary reporting, secondary reporting. Yes or no?
Yes.
You need to identify segments. That segments is called reportable segments. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How to identify reportable segments? There are some 3 or 4 types of test. Asset test, income test. There are some tests.
Yes.
You need to apply all the tests, all the kinds of tests. And in every test, suppose in test you got A, B, C as 3 segments. In test 2, you got C, D, E as the reportable segment. In test 3, you got B, C, D as reportable segments. In test 4, you got some other. Now, A, B, C will report. E and D you will report. That's total. How many reportable segments? 5.
5.
Of course, these are common, already considered. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you need to disclose separately segment information.
Yes, sir.
What is the objective of segment information? By the way, tell me, segment information, is it a balance sheet item or P&L item? None of this. None of this.
Yes, sir.
None of this. Segment information is just a notes to item. It's an additional information which we are giving. Additional information.
Additional information.
Today, if you see Reliance Industries Limited, sir, Reliance Industries Limited individually standalone financial statement, standalone P&L, if you take, it has 4.5 crore lakh turnover. Oh my God, Reliance Industries 4.5 crore lakh turnover. Sir, 4.5 lakh crore turnover from which business? It has involved in so many businesses.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what business is involved in? They involved in telecommunication. They involved in retail. They involved in petroleum. They involved in petrochemicals. There are so many segments. Okay, fine. Now, out of these many businesses, some businesses will be performing very well. Some businesses will not be performing very well.
Yes, sir.
I want to know which businesses are performing not well, which businesses are performing well, so that I want to take a decision with board of directors. I want segment-wise information. That's called segment information. Segment information is useful for decision making. It's neither P&L nor balance sheet. It's an additional information. You give segment-wise assets, segment-wise liabilities. You give segment-wise income. You give segment-wise expense. You give segment-wise profit, if possible, to calculate.
Yes, sir.
Why? Sir, in segment A, I am using 10 lakh crore worth of fixed asset, but I am getting only 20,000 crore profit. Useless. Segment B, I am only investing 1 lakh crore worth of assets, but I am getting 25,000 crore worth of profit. Segment B is more useful. Divert funds from segment A to segment B. Decision making analysis. Are you clear? This segment is called as cost center in costing.
Yes, sir.
These segments are known as strategic business units in strategic management.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just giving a brief idea. What is segment information? Now, sir, what is the auditor duty? Fine. Understood what is segment. What is the auditor duty regarding segment information? There are 2 duties which you have. One is, of course, whether presentation and disclosure of segment information is it as per applicable financial reporting framework or not. You need to check. You need to check nothing but accounting standard 17 and schedule 3. Whether is it complied or not. That is one duty.
Yes, sir.
What is another duty? See whether management has identified segments on a proper basis or not. Whether the basis followed by the management, is it as per applicable financial reporting framework? Basis means whether the test used by management, is it as per applicable accounting standard or not. You also once again perform test. You once again perform test and try to identify segments whether are they reporting completely or not. So you need to focus on whether the identification of segments is properly made or not, whether the test used by management is correct or not. Compare with last year. How many were there in the last year segments? How many were there in current year? Analytical procedures. After that, see whether the information given in notes to accounts, segment information, presentation, disclosure, is it as per applicable financial reporting framework or not. That's it.
Yes, sir.
This is a specific consideration you have to apply while verifying segment information. Over. Next, litigations and claims. What is it?
Litigations and claims.
Okay, sir, what is this I need to do? Segment information, I understood accounting standard 17. Now, what is it regarding litigation information? Here also it is regarding 29, accounting standard 29. You
Yes.
know, if you see SA 501 objective, it has 3 objectives. One objective is, third objective is, auditor have to check completeness of disclosures regarding segment information. Auditor has to check completeness of litigation scheme. Auditor he has to check existence and condition of inventory.
Inventories.
Completeness. I told you now, completeness now there or not. Now we need to check whether all the pending litigations and claims are completely disclosed or not. Nothing but SA 250 also says regarding this only, no?
Yes, sir.
SA 250 also speaks about laws and regulations.
Laws and regulations. Yes,
now,
sir.
Laws and regulations violation is a litigation, because of which you will get a claim. Default with a third party. See, breach of law, breach of contract. Yes or no? Both brings litigations.
Yes, sir.
Litigations and claims both kind. But SA 250 speaks only about breach of law, not about breach of contracts.
Yes, sir.
I gave a guarantee. It's a litigation and claim. It is not a violation of law. Are you clear?
Yes,
if I
sir.
violate a guarantee, it's a litigation and claim, not a breach of law.
Yes, sir.
Pollution I have emitted have more than permitted standards. It's not a breach of contract, it's a breach of law. SA 501 is not applicable, only 250 is applicable.
Yes.
Yes. Now, sir, what I need to verify regarding litigations and claims? What I need to verify? You need to verify completely disclosed or not. How do I know whether all the litigations are disclosed or not? First, inquire management.
Inquire management.
First,
yes, sir.
Management. Inquire those charged with governance. Inquire internal auditors. Okay, then look at legal expenses account. Yes or no? See whether
yes,
what
sir.
are all the purpose they paid legal fees, for what purpose they paid. Identify the pending case and all, list of pending cases. Get list of pending litigations from internal lawyers. Company internal lawyers will be there. Ask them. Fourth one, ask external legal counsel. External legal counsel means external lawyers. Ask them, they will also give. Above all, get a written representation from management that all pending litigations are disclosed to the auditor. All the pending litigations are disclosed in the financial statements. Get a declaration from management, written representation.
Yes, sir.
Get a written representation from management also. Sir, what if external lawyer is refusing? What if he is refusing? Try to perform alternative procedures and get information. Suppose if the external lawyers are refusing, management is also not cooperating, alternative procedure also not available, litigation claims you are unable to comment on, give modified opinion.
Modified opinion.
Disclaimer, as the case may be.
Yes, sir.
Easy?
Yes, sir.
That's about pending litigation claims is over. Next, first thing I need to check is existence and condition of. Auditor has to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Auditor has to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Regarding what? Regarding whether inventory is in existence. Okay, if it is existing, what is the condition of the inventory? Whether the condition of the inventory is a damaged condition or good condition. If it is good condition, valuation rule is cost and NRV, whichever is lower. Damaged condition, NRV only. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Valuation rule is determined based on existence and condition. So first we need to check whether existence and condition is correct or not. Then I will think of valuation later.
Yes, sir.
You check existence and condition of inventory. In fact, this is something related to CARO, physical verification of inventory.
Physical verification.
So first, yes, auditor has to do, sir, as on 31st March, entity is doing physical verification activity. Auditor, please attend the 31st March inventory counting. Auditor has to attend year-end inventory counting performed by management. What you will do after attending there? Identify condition of inventory. I didn't do a test count. Observe management, how they are counting. Observe count procedures performed by management by attending.
Yes, sir.
Sir, 31st March, I am not able to attend. Then what is the problem? Then what is the option? Okay, attend on another day. Attend on another day when the management is counting again. Sir, whenever management counts, I'm not getting time. Okay, you go on a surprise visit. You do test counting. Yes or no? You do test
Yes, sir.
counting, physical surprise visit, all that. Sir, I tried all the three, but inventory counting is impracticable. Due to Corona, there is a lockdown. And due to lockdown, that godown was completely in the containment zone area. I can't go there. Okay, oh my God, then what? Then try to obtain evidence from alternative means. Alternative means. Sir, what is alternative mean? Now, when that godown has received last time inventory, GRMs, look at where latest GRMs, look at latest outwards. Balance will be there in the godown, no?
Yes, sir.
CCTV cameras will be there in the godown, no?
Yes, sir.
See through CCTV cameras whether the goods are there or not. Sir, this is a difficult process, sir. Alternative evidence is not reliable. Okay, then give modified opinion, qualified or disclaimer, whatever it might be. Over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, I understood. These are all inventories in the custody of the entity. I understand. What if inventory is in the custody of third party? So now what is this? What if inventory is in the custody of third party? First of all, why your inventory is in the custody of third party? Sir, it is in transit, sir. I purchased goods. I took delivery, but the goods are with my transporter. Risk is already transferred to me. So I showed it as in transit. Okay. Another situation where goods will be with third party. Sir, I sent for job work. Sir, I sent on seller return basis. I sent on consignment basis.
Consignment basis.
These are the cases where inventory of mine will be with the third party, but still ownership is with me. I will show in my balance sheet. But existence of inventory is not with me. It is with the third party. Now what should I do? Two options. Get external confirmation as given under SA 505 regarding quantity and quality and price. All that. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Suppose if you think external confirmation given by third party is not reliable, do one thing. You go to the third party premises or arrange another auditor so that he will go and verify the third party physical condition, all that he will verify. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Suppose what if third party is not responding? Entity is also not supporting. You did not get evidence. Give modified opinion. Over.
Yes.
The standard is over. Everybody understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Where you studied, ma, previously?
Gurukul, sir.
Oh, fine. You only are. Fine. Getting confidence. So the objective of auditor is to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence regarding existence and condition, completeness of litigations, presentation and disclosure of segment information. Is it as per applicable framework or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, segment information. The auditor shall obtain sufficient appropriate evidence regarding presentation, disclosure of segment information. Is it as per applicable framework or not? By what you will do? Obtain understanding of methods used by management, what testing methods they used, whether such methods are likely to result in disclosure as per applicable framework. Wherever appropriate, you also test such methods and perform analytical procedures. See whether last year segments are how many, current year segments are how many. C point. See whether presentation, disclosure of segment information is as per applicable financial reporting framework. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Next. B. Litigations and claims. What is the objective here? Auditor has to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence regarding whether all the pending litigations and claims are correctly presented and disclosed in the financial statements. How shall auditor identify what are all the pending litigations and claims? Inquire management, charge with governance, in-house legal counsel, read the minutes of the meetings of top management, correspondence between lawyers and the company, review the legal expenses account for what purpose each and every rupee they paid for. Get, this entire point is not good. Here alone is get a direct communication, do directly communicate with the third party lawyers. And this can be done through a letter of inquiry, external confirmation prepared by management but sent by auditor, where third party directly communicates to the auditor. Suppose if management refuses to talk to the lawyers, sir, lawyers and all very busy, sir, don't talk. If at all they got angry, they will leave our case, sir. Sorry, sir. If there is a valid reason, try to get alternative evidence. Suppose you are unable to obtain evidence from alternative means also, shall modify your opinion. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, inventory. What is that auditor has to do regarding? Attend the management inventory counting. You have to attend management inventory counting, which is performed at year end. Okay, what you will go, or you will attend there. What you will do? I will see management, how they are processing. I will observe how management is counting. I will inspect inventory. I will also do test counting.
Test counts.
And I will reconcile physical inventory with inventory records, and I will identify discrepancy if at all there, how management is dealing with that. Suppose if inventory counting is carried at other than balance sheet date, no, what will I do? I will attend there if possible, and I will attend there, and whatever transactions happen between balance sheet date and count date, whatever the purchases are they counted properly or not, I will check.
Yes, sir.
Now, physical inspection by auditor directly. Suppose you are unable to attend physical inventory counting by management, you attend physically. This is nothing but surprise check. Suppose if physical inventory counting is impracticable, getting it. Alternatively, also you are unable to obtain evidence, shall modify the opinion. If
Yes, sir.
inventory is with a third party, if the inventory is under the custody and control of third party, auditor shall obtain appropriate evidence by the following. First option is confirmation from third party as per SA 505. Second option is if at all you are doubtful about the confirmation, if exist doubts as to confirmation, you attend or arrange another auditor. Get the third party auditor's report if possible. Inspect documentation regarding really third party has that inventory. Ask his warehouse receipts. Request confirmation from other parties, example transporter, or request confirmation with other parties like bankers and all. If at all inventory is with the banker, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's it. SA 501. Just a minute.